We are all the same. We are all human beings. We are all born with a brain, a heart, and soul. We all have dreams, but we do not all have opportunities. If we are all the same, then how is it possible that some are able to divide us so distinctly? Why are some robbed of the chance to love and live their life to the fullest? These were the burning questions that lit the passion in my son Cozy's heart. Cozy Johnson was born with HIV, but he was the strongest person I have ever known. The book We Are All the Same by Jin Wooten illustrates how he used his condition not as a defining feature, but rather as a symbol of unity to promote a sense of togetherness around the world in the fight against HIV/AIDS. It all began in Houghton when Cozy's mother Daphne, seeking care for her son, came to the guest house, my shelter for men living with HIV/AIDS. She was the same as any mother, filled with a sense of duty to protect her child and give him the best life she possibly could. She had been infected with HIV by Cozy's father, which caused Cozy's own infection at birth. Before entering my life, they struggled with encounters of discrimination that were based off of their condition. They were kicked out of their home, shunned by their neighbors, and even some of their family. Daphne was the same as any mother, willing to sacrifice anything to ensure the safety of her child. She was the same as any mother, simply engulfed with love for her son. More importantly, she loved the same as any mother, if not more. The guest house closed soon after Daphne left Cozy under my wing, but there was not a doubt in my mind that I would bring him home with me. I was in the midst of a failing marriage at the time, but my heart was still full as Cozy brought so much depth to the dynamics of my family. We were growing apart, yet we were still so integrated through our affection for this boy. He was dying, getting worse every day, but his smile was still often and always contagious. He was dying of AIDS, but he was the same as any boy his age. He loved his pets, baths, and soap operas, and hated his chores. He was the same as any boy, and wanted to live that way. He wanted to go to school regardless of public concern, and his efforts resulted in the construction of a law that protected children with HIV/AIDS from discrimination at public schools. After winning that first fight, Cozy was fairly well known around the world, and he used this recognition to continue spreading awareness about HIV/AIDS. Bringing peace to those suffering was his priority, even though his own health was deteriorating rapidly. After his mother Daphne passed, he expressed that he knew that he would also die soon, but he was determined to make a difference while he was on this earth. He inspired me to open a new shelter with a goal to provide support to mothers and children suffering from HIV/AIDS. We called it Cozy's Haven, which was quite appropriate considering the amount of time he spent helping out there. He refused to be satisfied, however, and encouraged me to invest in an even bigger house so that I could aid more women and children. I think having this purpose in life, no matter how short his life may have been, gave Cozy strength, and he wanted to share that strength with the world. He wanted to show everyone that people with HIV/AIDS still mattered, and he hoped to bring this sense of self-worth to those suffering as well. It became clear that his small stature was contradictory of the size of his influence and power. He was invited to speak at events all across the globe and was able to make most appearances, regardless of his chronic battle with fatigue. Cozy even spoke out against the policies of South Africa's president, Thabo Mbeki, at the 13th International Conference on AIDS. The president had banned the use of antiretroviral drugs in his country and even denied the link between the HIV virus and AIDS. He attempted to further divide humanity, blaming the abundance of AIDS-related deaths on a scheme devised by whites to wipe out the black population. His ideals were strong, but they never discouraged Cozy. Cozy set out to make these life-changing medications available for all, despite the fact that it was too late for them to save his own life. We Are All the Same by Jim Wooten captures the courageous efforts of my son to lessen the burdens of HIV/AIDS around the world. He died at only 12 years old, but he lived a fuller life than most. This was because Cozy knew what some people never get the pleasure to understand. He knew that Daphne was the same as any mother. He knew that he was the same as any boy. More importantly, however, he knew that we all need love, as it is a part of human nature. He understood that we are all the same.